Hey guys, today we're gonna finish up talking about these heroic bosses that got tested. Next up is going to be Forgeweaver Araz. Fight is pretty much as I expected it to go. Starting off in phase one, these little orbs shoot out of these collectors. They shoot out in like a floret triplet pattern where there's like three rows and they shoot out, and they like kind of like if you did kill Jaden where you shot out the fire orbs at the beginning of the fight to start phase one, very similar like shoot up pattern from that. Plenty of footage for you to see this fight for what it looks like right now. Very slow, very easy to dodge, kind of a non-mechanic in my opinion. There's also this soak that we talked about in the last video that spawns this echo ad. This echo ad has to be, 15 yards, whatever it is, away from the boss. Otherwise, both of them just take 0 damage. And I believe they also do more damage simultaneously. So you want to take the soak away from the boss. The last thing to mention about these collectors for phase one is there's like these little pedestals where you can see where they're at. And then the boss will essentially channel to one of them, and then it'll pop up out of the ground, and this will now become active, and then this bottom one and this top right one would be inactive at those points. Once they become active, they can start shooting out these orbs, and they also do these little pink orbs that they spawn on people, which is the manifestation orbs. The way these manifestation orbs work is you can put them underneath the boss and just cleave them down with boss. They are targetable by every single CC in the game: grips, stuns, pushbacks, everything. The only thing I didn't see was roots, but you're just going to break the roots immediately if that's what you decide to do with them. I could see a strategy where all three become active, and essentially it's going to be like this one will spawn 3, and then a couple seconds later this one will spawn 3 more, and then a couple seconds later this one will spawn 3 more. So I could see a strategy of like, hey, you just put them all together, you root them so that they all stick together, assuming you can root. That's the only CC I did not see used in testing. And then you just take boss to them all and just slap them down. I do think in Mythic, these manifestation orbs are used for something a little bit different. I'm not sure off the top of my head, so maybe something you just won't do because you won't do it on Mythic, and therefore kind of a waste, especially on the fourth boss of the raid. So, but anyways, so these little pink orbs will spawn on players. Everyone that I saw do testing was just running them underneath boss and killing them with boss. The only thing you have to stop them from doing is these are trying to go to the collector that spawned them. You know what collector spawns them because there will be lines that go out on players from the collector itself that actually says, like, makes it pretty obvious which collector they're trying to make their way to. But that's kind of phase one. So as soon as like, all three of these collectors spawn up, shortly after that, and after they spawn their manifestations, you will go into the next phase. And just to tie the bow on these manifestations, the way it's going to work is one spawns, you're going to get 3, and then let's say this top left and the bottom one is now up, so you're going to get 3 from here, and then another 3 from here. For now, you get 6, slightly offset. And then you'll get this top right one will spawn, so now all 3 are active. 3 from here, 3 from here, 3 from here, so you get 9 total, slightly offset in sets of 3. And that's kind of all of phase one. When we go to phase two, these collectors can now be hit and killed. The way you get out of this phase is killing the collectors, and you're also going to have these 2 shield ads. Their shield did not seem that big at PTR testing, but obviously tuning is kind of the name of the game when it comes to PTR testing, so who really knows what it's going to be like live. You just kind of take it to an ad and kill these collectors while simultaneously killing the ads. As soon as everything is dead, you're going to push into the intermission. Oh, and all while that's happening, this guy's just kind of channeling into the console. I think he's like 99% damage immune, so it's not worth putting damage into him. Once you kill everything, about 5 seconds, 3 seconds after everything dies, he'll start damage amp, where you just absolutely pump, and then you will repeat phase 1 into phase 2 all over again. When the boss hits about 25%, he automatically goes into the last phase. One last thing to mention about the intermission, everyone was pushing this boss to 25% during the second round of phase 1, or on a second damage amp window, one of the two. So I didn't get to see like, hey, do you only get to do like 2 sets of intermissions and then no matter what, the boss just goes to the last phase now? Or is it going to be hard 25% is when you go into this phase 3? So that's something we're probably going to have to figure out live, if not on Mythic testing. But anyways, the last phase is going to be pretty easy, especially if you were to push them at 25%. Black hole at the front of the room where the console was, it's just going to pull you and all your friends this way towards it. Obviously, there's the traditional shenanigans: use Warlock Gate, use movement speed. The only thing to really mention about this is I want to say at about a 10-minute pull time was when this pull-in was getting so strong that people actually had to start using their own personal movement speed things to just get like an inch of room back in the arena. So eventually this pull-in does get really, really, really strong. Boss is probably going to be dead by then, so it's probably a non-factor, but just watch out for that. And those pulls were going again like 9-10 minutes, so maybe 5+ minutes in this last black hole phase just to see how long it was going to take. But yeah, seems like a pretty simple fight. Nothing too crazy here. Nothing really more to say. The last thoughts that I kind of have is dot classes and classes that do really good 4+ target stack cleave are going to be really good for this fight. Again, tuning kind of made it difficult to see like healing wise what you really care about. This group soak does do some burst damage to everyone that's soaked. When these go off, they do some damage as well. So maybe some burst healing with a little bit of dot healing. But again, super difficult to tell when it comes to testing, and everything is tuned too high or too low to figure out exactly what we care about. So that's going to be all for Araz, and I will see you guys at Soul Hunters. Have a good one.